So you want to download your Java JDK. I think we mentioned 17, right? So let's assume you already have it on your system, but in case you don't have it, you know this is where you go to. Surely Oracle, Greenback 23, 21. We have 17. 17 is there. Okay, so you see already, I have it on my system already, so there's no need to download. But Windows, just go to Windows 64 installer and download. Now, when you download this, it's going to be installed directly in your program files, right? It's going to be installed. Let's see where this gets installed. Okay, so you from your local disk, you go to your program files, then you go to a folder called Java. So in your Java folder file, you will see the JDK you just downloaded. Let's assume you just downloaded JDK 17, right? You will have your JDK 17 here. Okay, so JDK 17 here. So now you have to get the paths to this JDK 17. If you click on it, you will get a path here. You see C program file /Java /JDK 17. That is the path to your to the Java that you just installed, right? Now you copy this path and then you find a way to put it in your environment. Call it environment variables. Environment. Edit environment variables. So when you open your system properties, you call it system properties. Now under this system properties, we typed environment variables and this popped out. You go to environment variables here and then you look for system variables. You create a variable called Java home. So you want to create a Java home, you say new, and then you add Java underscore home, right? And then you put the part which you copied just now. This is how you add it, but I already have it here, so I'm going to cancel. For your own case, you're going to put OK. All right. So here we have what your Java on. Now, in your part, there is another variable before now called part. You're going to edit this part and make sure that you put a /bin to your Java on in order to access every other folder within this bin. So there is a bin here. When you open this, you see bin. So there is a bin part where you need access to all of these Java libraries, right? So we will now, somebody is trying to enter. Okay, so you just put Java home / you can directly even write, let's say I put a new, you can directly even write this and then put a /bin. But it's not effective since you have a variable created already. Just use the variable name Java on, and then of course with the percentile. This shows that it is a variable name, right? And then you put /bin. So I'm not going to do this. I'm going to cancel. Okay. So that is how you add Java home to your environment part, to your environment variables. Okay, so now when you have done this, you can now go to your command line to check the Java version or see. On this particular system, I have so many Java versions, so I'm not going to get my Java version easily. But on your hand, if you are getting your Java version, you just do this. Okay. No, I know this is going to be like this. But for me, I decided it is compiler version that should give me the Java version because I have so many Java versions on this system as of today. for different things. Um, so you can see. So when you okay, just make sure you have just one so that you can directly get your Java version from the command line. So all right, so this is the end of installing Java and whatever Java JDK. The next thing is the IntelliJ. Now, if you have installed your IntelliJ or you are looking for which IntelliJ to install, we have download IntelliJ. So this is, so you know there are different versions. So just go to the community version. And this one has, you have to pay money. So come to the community version and download Windows executable. So do you download this one and install. And when you have installed, then you can launch. So let me assume I have none of my IntelliJ open. My IntelliJ from here. Okay. When you open your IntelliJ like that, you have these things by the left navigation, the right navigation, and this left. Now you give it the name of your project a name, and say you will fit um automation class. Now this QFit automation class, it's a new Java project. So I'm just going to leave it like that, Java, and then Maven in between because we are making use of Maven, and that will be it. If I create it this way, okay, so it's picked something here. Forget about it. So by default, you have an SRC, a .idea, which is your IntelliJ default what's the name? Default workspace, right? And then you have the POM. We call this page object model. So your page object model, this is what it does. It manages your automation framework. It manages your dependencies. So in your POM XML, which we explained, we were trying to talk about dependencies the other time. This is how the structure looks like. It's an XML, right? What did I call that SML thing? Is it extensible modeling language or something? So this is how it always look like. The start of a block is always like this, and the end of a block is always like this. So you had your dependencies. This is a fresh project, so we will be adding the dependencies ourselves. Now we have the SRC, which is your source folder. This is where you put in all of your page objects and your test, right? So we have the SRC consisting of the main folder and the test folder. So the main folder, right? In the main folder, you can create something called packages, right? Like for example, this that you see here is a package. All right, and it was named this right from the poem. I can decide to rename it as something else. Let's assume I rename it as QFit. Okay, I can call this home dot QFit automation class dot Selenium lessons, whichever one. So as you can see now, I have something like this here. Or you can decide to, let me refactor again and say, I want this. How did I name this thing? Selenium lessons. automation class. Okay, so we'll call this refactor. As you can see, this is coming straight off from your POM XML, right? Now, so let's delete this. I don't know. So we have something fresh here. So you know that this main class came by default. This is how you write your hello world. By default, when you're just learning Java language, just like we're just learning it in class now. This is how you make use of. In our presentation, we talk about the different things you come across in your Java, your operators, your prints, including your print language and your methods. So this is a main method. Main method, you must know what a main method is. So it carries the key word main. Okay, and this is how it is always written. And this that you see here is a block, right? Whatever you write within these parentheses, we call it a block of code, okay? So it's a main method. And then you have your print statement, hello world. So if you execute this code as it is, you're going to have the print in the console, hello world. Hello world. Right. And so that is that. And for your test, so we said you can write your page objects within this first area, and then you can write your test within this part. All right. So we don't have any test written yet. So, but as I open this, it's asking me to set up my modules, my libraries, and all of that, including the SDK I will be using. So under SDKs, when it comes to IntelliJ, you can use different versions of SDK for your project. So you can even have SDKs directly downloaded from the internet. Like I can decide that I want to add a new SDK here. And I will say download JDK. I mean, I said SDK, BDK. Okay, so your SDK is your software development kit, right? So it's the collection of your Java development kits. So Java is JDK. SDK is in the software development kit, so they're different. So we have, I can decide whichever version. Let me say there's no 17 here. I can decide to have 17 from downloaded directly, or I pick it from, remember I have a 17 already in my JDK own. So I can even come here and what do I do it? Okay, so I say new, and I can I don't want that. Okay, I can select this. So once I select this, you see this is already added. I can decide to work with 17. And because I have 17 already in this part, yep. So this part exists, right? It exists, here. So I can make use of this and then apply. If you apply like that, this is the version you'll be working with. Now your version of Java has to be the same version, the version of your source, which is the one you just selected, has to be the same version of the compiler target, right? So I can decide that this is not 19, this is what 17, and then 17. So we have our pom.xml here right now. Now, the next thing is we talked about the Selenium Java, right? So the Selenium Java is a dependency that you had in your pom.xml. Talking about Selenium Java, we make use of the Maven library. So we have Maven repository. So we have the Maven repository where you check the versions of every dependency you want to work with. and then you get to put it in your pom.xml, right? So here is what we call what MVN repository. So we can look for our Selenium Java here and say Selenium Java. You can see here we have directly Selenium Java, which we want as a dependency, right? So pick the latest and make sure it has some usages already. So we can pick this one. So when you want to pick just a click, with a click now, you copy, right? So you have this copying, because I mean using Maven, not Gradle, not SVT, not Ivy, not Grape, not whatever. So we are using Maven, we just copy, and now that you have copied, you put this straight in your so there is a tab called dependencies, and then there is the dependency within the dependency tab. So here we have what we call the dependency Selenium Java. So you are using Selenium Java for this project. Now, when you have so many dependencies in your form, sometimes you need to reload your Maven. So you can access your Maven from here, and you can refresh and reload to rebuild your project. So now it is all synchronized, and of course there's no error here. Selenium Java. We don't need this yet now. So I'm just going to ignore that. Okay, so we have our pom.xml, we have this. So writing your test, writing your page object model is not going to come today. It's not going to come tomorrow too, because we are dealing with understanding Java and the basics of Java. So we have some assignment for us. Let's go back to the presentation slide. Oh God, I don't have that on this Windows. Okay, how do I do that? Let's see. Share it to my mail. Our time is fast spent because I was trying to move systems. But going forward, I guess we're using the Windows for more of the hands-on, because majority of us are using Windows. Windows OS. Okay. So what I want to do now is to share the PowerPoint to see the questions we want to, or maybe we can continue those questions tomorrow. Yeah, let's continue those questions tomorrow. I will share the PowerPoint presentation on WhatsApp for us, right? And then we can continue with the Java basics tomorrow. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for joining the class today. Okay. Thank you all so much for joining the class today.